Most Recon players in Battlefield 6 are doing it completely wrong, and it's costing their team the game. I'm not talking about bad aim, I'm talking about the entire approach. Sitting back, scoped in, sniping from spawn. That's not Recon, that's just camping with a fancy label. I've put over 700 hours into Battlefield 6, 149 of them on Recon alone. Currently, I'm top 1% of Recon kills, top 2% overall, and I got there by playing Recon in a way that most people never even think about. In today's video, I'm breaking down exactly how to do it. The mindset, the loadouts, the tips, everything you need to know to start winning games with Recon. Let's get into it. Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Gabe, and the whole purpose of this channel is to help you guys become better players. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, most Recon players are playing it completely wrong. They're playing way too passively, and it's actively hurting their team. The Recon class is meant to be played aggressively and has 4 main purposes. Number 1, gather information for your team. Number 2, help your team clear out any enemy players or vehicles on or around the objective. Number 3, capture objectives. And last but not least, number 4, eliminate enemy players. Now I know what you're probably thinking. If you're gonna play like that, why don't you just use the assault or engineer class? And let me explain why. The Recon class has access to 3 of the best gadgets out of all the other classes, and that's gonna be the drone, the beacon, and the C4s. I'll talk about each one of those gadgets later on in the video. But with that being said, let's jump into what your loadout should look like. Now, first thing we're going to go over is which training path to use. And in my opinion, the sniper training path is hands down the best. Now, we're going to be playing mid to short range, and we're not going to be using sniper rifles, but I want to focus on the bottom 2 of the training path here, the target acquired and the enhanced perception. Now, with enhanced perception, it's going to improve our auto spotting range by 33%. And it's also going to give us a 10% wider angle of detection. Spotting is quicker and it lasts 3 seconds longer. Now, with the last one, target acquired, this one is just as important as the enhanced perception. What this is going to do is anytime we inflict any type of damage to our enemy, whether that's with a grenade or with their weapon, it's going to automatically ping them on the minimap for our whole team. Alright, now moving on to weapon selection. This one is kind of personal preference, but just remember with this aggressive Recon class, we're going to be strictly mid to short range, nothing really long range, so I highly suggest either an assault rifle, a carabine, or even SMG. Also, if you guys are liking the video so far, please consider like the video, and let me know down in the comments. Are you guys also an aggressive Recon player? If not, what is your go-to class? Me personally, I always select an assault rifle. They're very well balanced, and most of them can be built out to do very well medium to short range, and for this aggressive Recon class, that's exactly where I want to be at. Now, if you guys are still having trouble trying to find a good weapons to use after the Season 3 update, I have a link in the description. You can choose any one of the weapons in that video, and they're going to go great with this Recon class. But a few of my favorites are going to be the L85, the NVO, the SOR 556, and the B36. As far as the secondaries goes, it's kind of personal preference, but in my opinion, there's only 2 choices here. That's going to be the M44 and the M357. All right, now moving on to the gadgets. There's only going to be 2 choices here. Gadget number 1 is going to be your Recon drone. This one is very, very important to help your team gather information, spotting enemies on and around the objective, enemy equipment. And gadget number 2 is a C4. C4 is going to be mandatory to take care of those annoying tanks. Now, as far as throwables, this was kind of personal preference. For me, I always select a frag grenade to help clear out enemies behind cover. You could go proximity detector too, but this thing has the radius like super crappy, and I wouldn't suggest it. All right, now moving on to a few tips that are going to help you guys out along your way. The tips I'm about to share with you guys right now are the exact tips that I use to reach top 1% in Recon kills. Tip number 1, it's kind of a no-brainer. Stay with your team. The whole purpose of the Recon class is to help your team gather information and to capture objectives. And you can't do that if you're running around by yourself. So the first one, stay with your team. Now, the only caveat I will say about tip number 1, you guys like that caveat? I don't even know if that's the right word. It just sounded fancy. I want to say it. Anyways, if you guys are having trouble capturing a certain objective, you can go out by yourself. Move toward whatever objective you guys are having trouble capturing. Get close to it, but do not jump on it by yourself. That's a good way to get yourself killed. Move close to the objective and put up your drone. And what you're going to do is you're pretty much just going to wait around for your teammates to spawn on you. As you're waiting there, your drone's going to be in the air. You're going to be spawning players. Hopefully you guys will have a pilot on your team to help take those people out. But again, get around the objective. Don't jump on it by yourself and wait for your teammates to catch up. All right, now moving on to the next tip. Make sure as you guys are moving from objective to objective, you guys are stopping every so often to put up your drone and scan the area. This way you're going to spot any enemies that could be around you, because there's nothing worse than getting shot in the back by some rat hiding in the bushes. Moving on, this one's geared more towards conquest. As soon as the match starts, make sure you guys aren't stopping at the first capture point that's closest to your HQ. What you want to do is you want to avoid it completely, go all the way to the second one. As soon as you get there, right away we're jumping on the objective and putting up our drone. After we put up our drone, we're going to position in a way that we're going to be able to see enemies coming from the next objective. This way we get a good idea to see exactly where the enemies are coming from, and you can start picking them off as they're coming towards you. Now, the next thing is going to be trusting your teammates. And what I mean by this is sometimes you might get close to an objective, you're going to put up your drone, and there might be a bunch of enemies all around. Now, you might feel the need to jump off your drone, but remember, one of the main purposes of the Recon class is to gather information for your team. You're going to be so much more useful while you stay on the drone, because sometimes when you park the drone, it's not going to spot every single enemy. Now, if you guys do decide to help out your teammates clear enemies from around the objective, a good way to make sure you're going to catch most of the enemies is make sure you park your drone right above the objective, and you're also placing down your beacon. This way you have good coverage from above and down below. The next thing is going to be, remember that your beacon does respawn over time, but after you guys capture an objective and before you move on to the next one, you guys can pick up your beacon. Pick it up and take it with you. This way you don't have to wait for it to respawn. Now remember, the drone is very important. After it's up in the air for a while, it will run out of battery and break. When this does happen, make sure you guys are asking you guys' support players on your team to drop a bag, or just search around the map for a bag. Lay it out for a while and wait for your drone to respawn. All right, now moving on to the next step. Make sure you guys aren't afraid to use your drone indoors. Now, it's not just meant for outside. You can use it indoors and it's very effective. I use this quite a bit whenever I forget to pick up my beacon beacon and it hasn't respawned yet. Also, this one's kind of a no-brainer, but make sure you guys aren't wasting your drones. And what I mean by this is don't just put up your drones and just search around, especially if you know there's nobody around. For an example, in the beginning of the match, don't just put up your drone and just scan around. It's not gonna do anything. Make sure you guys are close to the objective before you put up your drone. Now, also make sure when you guys are having your drone up, you guys are searching for enemy equipment. That includes other enemy drones, any claymores, or those annoying mines that are gonna blow up your teammates' tanks. Also remember, C4s can be used for other things other than blowing at enemy tanks and vehicles. They're great for taking out elevated positions and those annoying camping buildings that rats hide in, especially in that map Liberation Peak. I think that's what it's called. Oh, 700 hours in this game. I still don't know all the names of the maps. Crazy. But it's that one map where there's a crap load of apartment buildings around and they just hide in all those freaking the apartment buildings. It's annoying. So don't be afraid to jump out in front of it and destroy buildings in elevated positions ahead of time. If you guys found any value in today's video, a like would be appreciated. And also consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with guys like this. Also, if you guys are still having trouble finding the perfect controller settings, click on this video here. Until next time, always remember, chase your dreams because your dreams will chase you. Peace.